Today we are going to learn how to convert a day scene into a night scene and lit up the street light in Photoshop. So let's get started. To get a better understanding, I highly suggest you to follow along with this tutorial. The link of this image is mentioned in the description. First we will create the night scene. Drag the background layer to the new layer icon to create a duplicate layer. Set the blend mode to multiply, it will darken the environment. Let's darken it more. Again create a duplicate layer. Now we will add a color tint to it. Add adjustment layer of color lookup. Set the 3D LUT file to moonlight. And there we have our night scene. Now let's work on the street light environment. I mean when the light emits from the street light, where it will impact in the environment. So create a duplicate copy of the background layer. Drag it to the top. While holding Alt or Option, add a negative layer mask on it. It will temporarily hide everything from the layer. Only by painting white color inside the mask, we can see the content of this layer. Now take the Eclipse Marquee tool, set the feather value 160. It will make our light smoother and blend with the environment. Create an ellipse on the left. Now press Alt Backspace to fill the white color. And press Ctrl or Command D to deselect. Similarly, we will work on the right side as well. Create an ellipse, Alt Backspace to fill white color, Ctrl or Command D to deselect. Zoom in on the right street light. Take the brush tool, set the hardness to 0%. Paint over the street light where the light will emit. And don't worry if the outer portion is painted. Press X to switch between foreground and background color. Now black color is selected, paint over the outer portion. It will hide the extra selection. Just like that, repeat the same process on the left street light as well. Paint over it, switch it to black color, remove the extra. So when the light will emit, it will affect these trees as well. So select the mask, take the brush tool, increase the brush size and paint the white color on these trees. And don't go overboard. Take your time as much as possible. And remember, you can remove the extra selection by painting the black color. Now here the light will not affect that much, so reduce the opacity to 26% and paint over it. It will look a lot more realistic. Let's add some shadows as well. Now the environment is ready. Let's create the light. Create a new layer. Choose the color white. Increase the brush size. Set the opacity to 100% and click one time. We have a flare of light. Take the move tool, zoom in. While holding Alt or Option, scale it. Place it on the street light. Scale it more. After you position it, press Enter. Now while holding Alt, drag the flare to the left side. It will create another copy and place it on this street light. Rotate it. Scale it from the side. Press Enter. Now we will create the emission of light. Take the pen tool. Set the option to path. Create the shape of light. Right click, make selection. Create a new layer. Press Alt Backspace to fill white color and press Ctrl or Command D to deselect. Now go to Blur, Blur Gallery, Tilt Shift. Increase the blur value up to 156 pixel. Place the blur over the top and scale the effect line to the bottom. Let's increase the blur value a little bit more. I think this is looking pretty good. Hit OK and set its opacity to 20%. Light is looking realistic now. Let's do the same for the right side. Press Ctrl or Command J to create a duplicate copy. Move it to the right. Press Ctrl or Command T to transform. Right click. Flip horizontal. Position it according to the street light. Press E for the eraser tool and remove the extra part from the top. Let's add some more glow and contrast to the environment light. Select the background copy 3 layer, press Ctrl or Command J to create a duplicate copy and set the blend mode to color dodge. Select the background copy 3 layer, set its opacity to 40%. To give the environment a little more darker look, add adjustment layer of levels. Slide the blacks to the right, but we don't want it to be affected on everything. So select the mask, press Alt Backspace to fill the black color. Take the brush tool, increase the brush size and paint over the outer portion. Now while holding shift, select all layers except the background layer and press Ctrl or Command G to create a group. Rename it as night scene. So this is the before, this is the after. If you learn something new, hit the subscribe button. Also press the bell icon for learning updates.